Yes, welcome back to Fresco I Value. As usual, it's your boy Sodium here. We're still on the journey to spiritual, mental, and financial development. In today's episode, we are joined by the lovely Miss Francine Bennett. She's the ambassador of People's Choice Trading. And in today's episode, she's going to speak on the pros and cons of the 9 to 5 job, as well as she's going to give us some financial education. So stay tuned.
All of these drugs and all of these street signs, none of them will be yours or mine.
Welcome, Miss Francine Bennett.
Thank you for having me.
Lovely.
Uh, I must say it's nice to be with you guys. I mean, it's just fantastic. It's a good feeling. And I just want to say again, thanks for having me. So, as he said before, my name is Francine Bennett. And yes, I am an ambassador for People's Choice Trading. We cater for businesses, restaurants, and schools. So I'm still involved with my schools. I love my schools. And the reason for that is growing up, I realized a lot of things in the schools. The schools is where a child life starts. So, I'm just happy to be here and let's see what happens.
Before we start today's episode, don't forget to check out our Instagram page at Frisco underscore I value. And also the website will be the link to that website will be in the description. So don't forget to check out the website as well. But the first question, Francine, I know for sure you're a part of the 9 to 5, right?
Yes, I am.
All right. So tell me the experience about the 9 to 5 so far in the 9 to 5. Tell me about the experience in the 9 to 5 so far.
All right. So the experience in the 9 to 5 is a is it's a different ball game than what I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
when I just got there. I realized that you have older folks. They're what I should say, what is the word? They are intimidated by younger persons in the
Mm-hmm.
work world because they're seeing that the changes that is coming forth, technology, and you have the younger folks knows how to manipulate all of that, and
Yes.
the fact that they're probably supervisors and they come in and they see that you are on a different level in terms of the way how you perform as a worker.
Mm-hmm.
They're intimidated by that, and sometimes they take things a little bit too far in terms of them. Everything you do, they don't allow you to be yourself. Everything you do, they take it to the boss,
Mm-hmm.
or they make a complaint or something like that. I know that in the work world you have work ethics, and we're young people, things and times change. Everybody
Definitely.
wants to be in a workplace that you're comfortable, you can dress how you like, not in a way that you're exposing anything or anything to that side. So I've been in places where my personality is
Mm-hmm.
just too much for them. And it's not that I'm loud or vulgar or anything.
And I can see that you have a bubbling personality. I
Yes,
like
I
that.
do. And I'm a
Definitely.
very much people person.
Definitely.
Trust me, I talk a lot.
Definitely. I can see as well.
Yes. So because of that, you have persons who they doesn't understand the type of person that I am. And because of that, they put up a fight. You know, whenever being in the working world, I realized that people take set for you for absolutely no reason. You are a very likable person, and you have some people that don't have any personality, and they just treat you some type of way for that. And I've been there, done that. I've been abused when it comes on to work world. I've been in the work world before where their bosses. I went like for interview, and these boss, they're not really about the job anymore. They're
Definitely.
about what they want me around for. You want to have me around because I have a bubbly spirit, because I'm pretty, I'm little and petite and all of that. And the thing about it, it's so funny enough, all my life that I've been working, I have my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never given to that aspect of it. So I can't tell you what happens beyond that. I been in a place where I can remember complaining about this, going home and complaining about this, and it's like I have to figure out what's next. Is it that you're gonna leave? Is it that you're gonna stay? Because I have a tendency, whenever I'm at a place and I'm feeling uncomfortable, I leave. My parents would say, "You're not settled, you're not ready." But this is the thing, you cannot make money if you're uncomfortable. And why I say that is, you notice when you do something that you love,
Hmm.
the passion that you do it with, the pride that you do it with. Is like you're at a place and you don't want to be there. I realized that I was fighting myself to even get up to go to work. And I just want to lay in my bed. I just want to just spend some time with my child and just relax. And then I realized that when you actually find something, I mean, I'm at people's choice. And
Hmm.
people's choice, make it your first choice.
Yes.
I mean, I'm there and it's like a family. If I have something to do, I relay the information to my supervisor. If it's the case that something goes wrong, we work as a team, we work as a family, we understand, we work together. And because of that, like I feel like there's a bond. Nobody's there that acts as if they're older or they're better. Of course we have older folks around us
Definitely.
because they are the one that teaches us. So we just we are in an environment that we're learning, but not learning like we are slaves. Because I hear this thing, I would have like friends call me or I call them and I'm like, where are you at? And I'm like, we just I come off for the slavery.
Hmm.
And people categorize their job as slavery.
Um, why do you think they classify their jobs as being like in slavery and so on?
All right, so remember back to having pros and cons in a 9 to 5.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna hit one right here. When you have a 9 to 5, you have less time for yourself,
Definitely.
personal time. So if you have a motive for something personally, what is gonna happen is that you have to set that back. You have to use the little time that you get out of the job to
Hmm.
get it done. And if you do manage to accomplish it, it can state a problem in the workplace because coworker will be sitting over there. Oh, him can get so much time. Him get him day off and him still get time for go. Say for example, you want to deal with your passport or your visa.
Hmm.
Remember, it's a whole day you have to go in Kingston. And for persons like we, are Mandeville, you have to go before day.
Yeah, yeah,
You have to
definitely.
go early. So all these little things, I
Hmm.
think it set us back, and these people just pay us enough to come to work and pay our bills and come
Hmm.
back to work. And it's like that. Most persons who have something from their 9 to 5 is persons who save. And we are living in a society where people do little or no saving. I mean, everything is there to catch your eye. Everything you see, you want.
The fast cars. I
The,
mean I
ah.
mean the ladies as well.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Exactly. So you don't even have to leave house or your home to be spending money. And you have females nowadays. Oh God, ladies, when you go work, please, please. It has its pros and its cons, but it's the first step of independence. It teaches you how to manage your money because the little that you have, you would have to budget that to go back to work, pay the bills. If you're going to treat yourself, you have to save towards that and stuff like that. So in managing your little that you have for future reference, whenever you have more, it's a bit you're going to have more money comes more responsibilities.
Definitely.
So you're going to have more responsibilities, but in having more responsibilities, you realize that, oh, I was surviving off of that little. I cannot go back there, but this is how I can budget what I have. So for me, some days I find it hard to even go back to work because in earning more money, you're making steps, you're making moves, and these moves cost. So it's not gonna happen overnight. So I would encourage anybody
Hmm.
who has a 9 to 5, don't sit and judge yourself and let anyone judging you get you down. You
Yes.
get up, you brush that off, and you remind yourself, listen, I can do this. Everybody have their different starting line, and my starting line is here, and you accept that and you move on with that. A little.
So I mean, you mentioned being like independent as well. I mean, well, for us, well, I mean, this is entirely my opinion. For us at Fresco I Value, um, we have basically been a part of a business, right? We're basically working towards being independent. So, what's your final thought on the 9 to 5? Would you say it's a dream killer, or would you say it supports your dream?
All right. So it depends on the preparation and the resources that you have. So why I use the scale
Mm-hmm.
is because you have persons with different resources, and these resources are little or nothing, but they have to work.
Yes.
And idle hands, the devil find work give.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 to 5 save a lot of us. 9 to 5 being out in the streets, you realize you get street smart, you realize what the people want, you realize you get ideas from just being out there. If you were home,
Mm-hmm.
you are limited. You're just at home. You're used to your home. Being out there, and this, even if you're not working, have something that occupies your time. That
Definitely.
says, you know, growth, because you don't really have to. I mean, money is what pays the bills, take care of us, give us food, all of that, give us that comfort.
Mm-hmm.
But I did stuff that pay me nothing, but
Yes.
it's the time and what I will learn, and things that I'm looking forward to. I want to enhance it, and people don't understand that. You see that little time that you give. You see
Mm-hmm.
that little time that you give.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what it does.
Can you see me without your glasses?
Yes, I can. That
Okay.
time that you give,
Mm-hmm.
it teaches you how to do something without
Yes.
going to school. So it's like it's an override thingy, that thing where you don't have to go to school, you don't have to pay that, you learn it hands on, and that's the
Yes.
best way to learn. Going to
Definitely.
school and the teacher, yeah, that's the ultimate way to go.
Yes.
But when you go on a job interview, for example, and they say, do you know how to multitask?
Yes.
I had an interview like that,
Mm-hmm.
and the lady that was doing the interview, she said to me, I said to her, multitasking, I'm not sure about that, because my brain can only focus on one thing at a time.
Yes.
For me to give you the best results, I need to focus on one thing. So in multitasking, are you saying that my brain is doing one thing and my hands are doing the other? I'm not sure about that, and I didn't get the job.
Oh.
But the other day now, I was reading an article
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter, where they were saying that it don't make no sense to go and be honest in an interview. You must lie, because eventually they're teaching you how to do it. At the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day,
Yes.
they have a point,
Definitely.
because having a 9 to 5, most of us, we never go school, or what we go school go learn. We not have to enforce that in a 9 to 5.
And I think in touching that point is a very important point as well. Because I mean, even going to school, I mean, a lot of stuff that you learn in the business areas, you don't really learn it in school. So
For
that's a
example,
very
math.
important point.
My teacher them used to go in a some algebra
X and Y
something
and
and
simultaneous
find
equation and
find x. When me find x, me say miss the x there upon the paper. Don't tell me go
yes,
find no x, because these things relevant. Why don't
true,
we start? I want to teach you people them about life, teach you people them what I go really
definitely.
happen. I mean, all right. After having my daughter, the emotional aspect of that, I realized that nobody taught me, nobody let me know, let me in on all these things. Everybody just experience their own experience and just keep it to themselves. And then now, the only thing that we have to
Mm-hmm.
really educate us about anything at all, not just being a mother, not just having a 9 to 5, not just being out there as a human being. The only we don't have life not come with instructions.
True.
And we make decision, we make choices, because at that time, because you're looking at a blank page, oh, this is the best thing to do, and you make that decision based on what you feel, what you think,
So you
the
learn as
knowledge,
you go,
right, the knowledge
definitely.
that you have. However, it's not always like that.
True.
It's not always like that. Because when me left school, me think that, oh, this world is rainbows and candy.
Yes, Romeo and Juliet.
You know what I'm
Fairy
saying?
tale, eh?
Yes. And then as I realize, I'm like, hell to the no. It's not like that.
Definitely.
I realized that, after having a child, your life done. When I say
True.
done, I don't mean like done, done, done. Your
Mhm.
life is like, it doesn't, nobody care about you no more. Anybody see or ask you anything pertaining to you, or anybody for are your child, nobody no business boy you. So these little concept that I have in my head, they keep me going. I'm
Mhm.
not there as yet, I'm not perfect, but I believe in myself, and based on where I'm coming from, I think that there is much more to me than just an regular individual.
Definitely. In terms of my take on the 95, I mean, if you want to stay in the 95, you can. But otherwise, in terms of, we would have experienced a lot of stuff. In terms of, we would have struggled
Yeah.
from the get go. And I mean, the team, we weren't rich, so we want to get to that destination. I mean, even though money is not everything, it's important that you have sufficient to cover the generation that's coming before you, after you, sorry. So the thing about it, even along that line, the 9 to 5, it can be tiresome, but I mean, whenever you build something for yourself and you have that, and you leave that for your kids or your relatives, I mean, that's awesome. So
Definitely.
for us, that's what we want. And I mean, even if you're a young person, I mean, even if you go at school and you do entrepreneurship, it's important to have a skill as well. Because I mean, skill is also important. When you have a skill, I mean, you can develop yourself, and from that skill, you can make some money as well. So, my final say on the 9 to 5, if it's something that you want to do it. But otherwise, if you have bigger dreams as well, build something for yourself so you can leave a legacy as well.
But just to add to that, I mean, having a skill, you are an independent worker. You have the ability to start your own company.
Definitely.
If you're a tailor, for example, and you are good at what you do, you can simple gather some other persons, teach them as you go along, and that will develop into a business. It's
Definitely.
simple, it's very simple. It's just you have to have the mindset, the attitude, and you will get there. Trust
I
me.
mean, so it's important as well that you mention mindset, because I think your mindset is important. And you would have also mentioned that a lot of stuff that you need after leaving high school, they don't teach in high school.
Nope.
So it's important that they also self educate as well. So we normally preach that you read books. I mean, books in terms of persons who would have already tried the journey, they would have shared their experience and so on. So how important do you think financial education is, especially being that the school system doesn't really emphasize on financial education?
Right. So financial education. I thought that my mom, she gave me a start to life when it comes down to financial education. So I grew up seeing my mother, like, she got paid and this is
Mm-hmm.
what she did. She legit had some, the color post-it thingy, that the sticky pad.
Yes.
She would cut them and staple my name to my lunch money for the week.
Mm-hmm.
She would do the same thing for the light bill, the internet, everything. And I
Mm-hmm.
would always wonder why. And mommy was like, there's many times I put down some money. I don't remember what I put it down for. I end up use it, and then when it comes on to the time that I need to use that money, me
Mm-hmm.
not have it. So if me did owe somebody, I me never remember, like, I use the money, and then when the person come for the money, me not have it. I was like, oh, probably may have that little $2,000 I just put aside because it did spare, which
Yes.
in that wasn't the case. So having some financial education, you kind of know, like, the aspect or the initiatives that you need to take whenever you have a small amount. It's like it's a test run.
Yes.
You When you
Trial
get
and
a
error.
bigger,
Yeah.
because you have some people who don't enough money them to need it,
Emotions kick in.
yeah, everybody here just want braff and party and make everybody
Definitely.
know
Yeah,
say I
man.
have a piece of food.
Bruv, we have
And
bruv come
yeah.
money no. Yes.
So So we don't want that. We want whenever you, because sometimes there's some things in life that comes only once. You know,
Definitely.
you have a man who find himself with a 200,000 one time, and when he find himself with that, in bra 40 and waste you and say if it happen already, we happen again.
Definitely.
And remember me tell you this, it's a
Hmm.
possibility that it never happen
One
again.
chance.
You hear me tell you?
Definitely.
And you never make use of it. You never have nothing. Even if you put on 100 and say, all right, remember after one year, always have something to flip back.
Yes.
Always have a backup plan. Always have a plan for your money before it comes in your hand. Because you see, if you make it come in your hand and you not a plan, it's going
Definitely.
done.
Yes. So as I said before, in terms of books, right, it's important that you read books. Even if you don't have time, you can also listen to the audio version as well. In closing, right, I know that you're a mom, and also we're in terms of our audience, we'll be speaking to like a younger audience. What is one advice would you give to someone that who wants to start a business?
All right. In wanting to start a business, I advise to have a fully structured plan.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say a fully structured plan, I don't mean you just draft up something. You have to pass it by, somebody who, not even somebody, because it can be just you. It depends on the type of business that you want to go into
Mm-hmm.
and the resources that you have. However, you're going to want to talk about these things, and I advise that you keep your ideas to yourself, because you have persons who they're business minded, they have the resources, but they
Mm-hmm.
just don't have the ideas.
Yes.
And people steal ideas. We have the term in Jamaica called bad mind.
Mm-hmm.
So we look out for these people, guys, bad mind people, look out for them, especially when you're starting a business. Yes, they're very discouraging. They trust me, it can be a lot. My other take on that is, in starting a business, ensure that you are financially prepared. When I said prepared, you cannot start a business and expect that immediately after you start the business you're going to have an income. It can pay you.
Takes
No,
time.
it takes time and investment. So it's like pumping into something to reap the rewards later. And when I say later, I don't mean like 10 years from now. You're gonna reap rewards from it 10 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
But with the consistency of having the business and having the business going on, you're gonna have slow days, you're gonna have faster days. Take advantage of the faster days. Ensure that you make use of it. Don't get the money
Mm-hmm.
after you make the money
Mm-hmm.
and idle it, spend it, and waste it. Invest it back in the business so the business will be able to grow.
I mean, it's definitely important that the wait, have patience, and also discipline. Because I mean, in this generation, we don't really have discipline, especially with social media. You even mentioned a while ago with TikTok, right? We waste a lot of time on TikTok. It's important that we invest, wait until later to reap the rewards. Well, even if you don't live to reap the rewards, I mean, your kids, they can reap the reward as well. So, in closing, there we have it, the lovely Miss Francine Bennett speaking on the pros and the cons of the 9 to 5, as well as some financial tips when you're starting your business. Thanks for coming, Francine.
Thank you for having me.